You're listening to Season 4 of That's Life, a podcast designed with your laughter in mind. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be entertained.
That's life.
And we're back.
We're back.
Yes, sirree. Starting off Season 4 with Episode 101.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Welcome to Season 4, ladies and gentlemen.
Totally different from Season 3.
Yep. Completely
Completely,
new.
totally different.
Everything
So
is
new.
So crazy. And
We had to make it a
revamped.
new season.
Yep.
Isn't that right?
That's true.
And we have Pete,
Yeah.
of course,
I am
today,
here.
and a very special guest who's come a very great distance to visit us. You may remember him from our last episode. Say hello.
Dave from Nerdarchy, chilling with you guys, man.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yep. Coming on down to hang out with us.
We're chilling here in our brand new season.
Uh-huh.
So different. It's
So
so
totally
different that the little coffee table that I normally have in one spot is like moved about
It's moved over.
a foot and a half
Oh,
to the
yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's crazy.
My chair's
It's
moved
season
back
4.
to a good 6 inches.
It's all, everything
Oh,
is just,
it is
it's,
different.
It's chaos.
Same funny, less coughs.
That's
Season
right.
4. All right.
Yeah, you sound better than you have been.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Well, it's because of the not smoking thing.
Yeah.
We got the my lungs are just like, let's make extra mucus because that means we're healthy, right?
Yeah.
And it's like and you get this feeling like you're coughing all the fucking time. And I'm like, this is fucking gay. I should smoke. I feel healthier when I smoke. This is stupid. Stupid doctors.
So are you done with smoking, or is it just while you're recovering here?
Oh no, it's just because of I have to take a blood test
For health insurance purposes.
for health insurance and all this shit at work. I can get it like really, really low rates if I do it. So I'm totally going to do it. And I like to take breaks anyway, just because I don't like keeping a vice that won't let go. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So,
And he only smokes Black and Mild cigars anyway. So
yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's only mouth cancer.
Yeah, oh, you see? There you go. Well, no, I inhale. I totally inhale.
Oh,
I
never
smoke
mind.
them like people smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, he goes for the whole full monster.
Honestly, as a non-smoker or former smoker, I haven't smoked for freaking 20 years.
Nice.
It's one of those things I don't get anymore. There's like two things that these here kids are doing that I don't understand. And
Vaping?
Only 2?
Well, there's a lot more of that, but
Well,
they
yeah,
come
yeah.
right to mind.
Smoking related.
Smoking and racism. They're the two things I don't get anymore. I don't
You
know,
don't
if, we,
get it
I don't know
anymore.
if we can say that when we're in our location here, but
Yeah, we're pretty safe in our little in
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
particular space.
We have special runes.
Yeah,
up.
racism makes no sense anymore. Just like people giving a fuck about who people like to fuck.
Yeah, racism and the gayness, it's all just the same thing. It's just, whatever.
Yeah.
a lot
you're
of
right.
whatever.
I agree with that.
But yeah, so I'm not smoking, which I do miss smoking, not in like an addicted kind of way. It's just sometimes I like to smoke because it's cool, and sometimes when I'm really tired, I like to
Kids
smoke
are doing it. Yeah.
because it gives you like a kick in the ass, like it wakes you up some. At least it does for me anyway. So it was useful for that, but whatever. I do 5-hour energy now, so that's fine.
There you go.
But
Just trade your vices up.
Yeah.
yeah,
I need one vice.
gotta have
So,
something.
let me
Cocaine
pick
is too hard
one.
for me to get anymore, so
Yeah, that gets expensive.
Oh, that's what I hear. Yeah, so we got our what's
imagine.
new. We just are Pete and I we're wearing a symbolic hyperbole soaked black armbands for the death of my computer because right before I went to get Pete, I was trying to monkey around some new stuff for you, avid listeners, with some of the programs we have and try new stuff out.
It's gonna be cool.
And I got a white screen. White, pure as the driven snow. White.
Yeah.
Perfectly white.
One of them things that I haven't run across before.
Oh, it's me.
in
Always
computer
spelunking
town.
the depths of dumb fuckery.
So the shit you guys were about to unleash upon your fans was so cool that the powers that be just had to
It just
shut
couldn't
down.
handle it.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah. So I text Pete. I'm like, yeah, Pete, you ready? Yeah, I'll come scoop you up. Hey, my computer, it's all white. What's that about? You're like, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
And then he came over and saw it and was like, that doesn't look good. And then he tried a bunch of things that usually fix things, and that didn't help at all. You went to safe mode, and then we had the black screen instead of the white screen.
That was cool. Because at first, I got started up with safe mode with the command prompt, and I was like, cool. And it went in there, and I was like, okay, I have a command prompt, but nothing else. That's not too helpful because, I mean, I don't really want to dick around in DOS. So, all right, well, that's not cool. And so I figured maybe it's just because it's Vista was being stupid. And it's like, well, you said you wanted a command prompt, so here you go.
Just
oh,
a
you
command
wanted
prompt.
The rest of Windows too? Well, that costs extra. But then after a little bit of poking about, I realized, oh, no, when we go to safe mode, the white screen of Doom turns to the black screen
Because black is safer than white, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
For screen colors. I don't
Just
know. Computer's racist.
Never mind, I was about to go on that racist tangent there.
Damn, computer's racist. But, yeah.
White screens, black screens. No blue screen, though, huh?
No blue screen. At least that would be something we were familiar
we
with.
did make a red and a green screen, though.
Yeah, that was neat. But much like the Michael
Responder
Jackson
voice.
song, it doesn't matter if it's black or white. It still doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to
It's
go
not
to
all right.
Express computer fixing place.
They seem to have
Espresso computers.
taken good care of you.
Yeah, they've done all right.
Which
They
is
did all right for the band computer. Did all right for that. I got to make sure that this is like on the fast track though, because I cannot not have my personal computer. This is retarded.
Yeah.
I mean, the fuck. But yeah, garden's going great. Not coughing quite as much because not smoking, which kind of sucks. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the Noms, Volume 2, Volume 1 and 2, which are up.
That shit made me giggle.
Thankfully, I got it up there before the computer died. And if you're listening to this, it means my computer
things
is
got
fixed.
fixed, yeah.
Yes. So at least you'll have a good reason why you had to wait so damn long for episode 101. But that's all I got. Pete, what is new in the world of Pater?
Well, in more computer news,
Yours
I
works.
finally fixed mine. Well,
Yay.
completed the upgrade. So yeah, mine is fucking super awesome. I'm pretty sure I talked about all the bits I bought way
Yep.
back when on the show.
And the troubles you were having.
Yeah, so it turns out that all I needed to do was use a USB drive to boot Windows from, and I went,
Ta-da.
all right, well, that's easy. Let me stop being lazy. So I went on YouTube and looked up how to do that, because I actually didn't know. And I find this video, and the guy's like, all right, so you get your USB key, and you need one that's at least 4 gigabytes. So I'm like, all right, good, okay, good, this is good. It's like, okay, and then you take your thing, you put it in there, and then you got to bring up command prompt and do all this and do all that. He's giving all these like really in-depth details and instructions on how to mess around with the USB key, and I'm figuring like, oh, okay, I guess we got to set it up in a special way to be a boot device. No, all he was having me do was fucking delete everything on the fucking USB drive and reformat it to be completely empty. And I'm like,
Which you already did.
one, all you got to do is just kind of like click and drag and press the delete button, and boom, you're ready to go. Why are we in a command prompt for this? And two, yeah, I already did it. So this is fucking stupid. So I skip ahead into the video, and the guy's like, all right, and now you put your Windows disk in. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll put the Windows disk in. And now I got to figure out, he'll probably tell me that I had to run it and then tell
Some
it
kind
to
of
do
complicated
this.
thing.
And he goes, and when you put the disk in, you go to My Computer and Explorer and just copy and paste the files from the thing to the USB drive. I went, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It was that easy.
Yep. There you go.
So it really was that easy. So I copy pasted that, built the new machine, plugged in the thing, started it up, and like I blinked, and it might have taken another blink, but Windows started right up, and I was like, "Holy fuck, money well spent." Because then
No white screens?
yeah, no white screens,
Oh.
no blue screens, so
There you go.
all the hardware works, but
Yeah.
so that made me happy. So then the Steam summer sale is going on, and I've only bought 2 games. I feel good about myself.
Good, excellent restraint.
Yep. It's only ran out to about $10, so this isn't bad.
Yeah,
Which,
dude,
of
everything's
course,
so cheap there.
Everything runs fucking smoothly. New machine and all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been pretty much business as usual.
Oh, work.
Working and- Doing more working, driving around on the forklift, not dealing with any more high school drama bullshit. Cause,
Oh, you're forklifting now.
yeah.
Oh, lifting your forks. Very
It's
nice.
actually, working with a crew that
They're all grown ups.
Yeah, they work when they're at work. They don't give a fuck about
What?
who they think is fucking who and all that.
They don't
nonsense.
theorize as to who's doing
Don't
drugs?
care. Yeah.
No?
Nobody cares if I'm on drugs as long as I don't hit anything with the lift.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice.
So, yeah.
That's nice. Anything new with you?
Actually, this week was kind of busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kicked off, I guess bleeding into last week, me and Nerdarchy Ryan went and checked out Comic-Con in Philly.
How was that?
That was pretty cool. I mean, it's actually my first Comic-Con as an adult.
Aha.
I have not been to one
Wow.
in many, many, many
I'm about
years.
to say, wow, yeah. Holy shit.
And, a good friend of Nerdarchy's, Brian Motter of Black Slither Games, was out there hanging out with a booth and demoing his Battle of the Electric Vikings. So
Which looks awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So we went and hung out with him, played some games, watched the spectacle unfold before us.
Oh, yeah.
How I love cosplay.
There's
I was gonna say,
cosplayers.
cosplay.
and
I'm like wandering around and
all kinds of awesome.
and I'm thinking of one of my buddies as I look at this girl from behind, going,
Whoa.
"Oh my God, how can she wear that?" And then I want to take a picture of it, and I almost took a picture, right?
yeah.
And I restrained myself. I didn't. Right?
Oh.
So I go back to the booth, to the base of operations, and I'm talking to his artist, and she just started telling me a story about how this guy was hanging around the corner, and she's like, I don't know what he was doing, so I was kind of checking it out, and then Brian was checking it out, and then they finally see a shot of his screen. Well, he's taking pictures of all the like butt cracks and stuff. Of chicks is like, oh, I was almost that guy.
Of the butt cracks? Just the butt cracks?
Well, I don't know, maybe just asses
He
because.
was being a creeper.
Oh.
Yeah, he was being the creeper because if you've been to Comic-Con or you've seen cosplay, right?
Oh, yeah.
Half these chicks, their asses are not in anything.
Look
so
at me.
like
I'm dressed up like a
fishnets.
comic. Everyone loved my outfits. I think they love your lack of outfit. actually.
Yeah, pretty much. So that was going on, and thankfully I ended up not being that guy, even though I was almost that
Close.
guy.
You were close.
It was a close call. So we did that, and then again, this week has been, as Pete likes to say, business as usual.
Work.
Right,
Yeah.
work, and then Nerdarchy stuff, putting out content.
Word.
I saw the comic that got put up this week. The
Oh yeah, nothing but classy stuff from Nerdarchy.
this
Goblins
made me
with
laugh.
fingers in their noses.
Yep. Goblin
Well,
lining.
that's a
Yeah.
very
Get it wrong.
goblin-y thing to do. I mean, it's not like, a goblin wouldn't do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, it's not like he was masturbating or
High
anything.
quality content.
It's not like he was
No,
taking
that'd be
pictures of
gross.
people's butt cracks or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that'd be creepy.
Although that might be our next episode. Who knows?
That'd be
Goblins with
hilarious.
cameras.
Goblins with cameras. And I actually caught a couple movies this week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. I really liked that one.
I thought it was good. I found the beginning part of it a little tedious.
Yeah, well, you know what? We should save
Yeah.
that. Save
Hold
that
that thought.
for
We'll
our
have
mixed
the mixed
media
media
review.
review.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
then I won't go into the other one either.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
usually hold on to it. Hold on to it.
All right, other than that, I have nothing going on in my life. I'm boring.
Oh, okay. All right. No, so are we. But
Yeah, pretty much.
that is actually an excellent segue.
Yeah, we happen to have a segment for
We,
movies and things, don't we?
I do believe we do have the segment. It's
my
called, what's it called again, Pete?
I believe it's the Mixed Media Review.
That's right.
Whether it's movies, TV shows, video games, or books, we have the half-assed commentary you crave. It's Mixed Media Review.
That's right, Mixed Media Review.
Hey.
We watch it, listen to it, read it, play it.
It's all in season 4 now.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's new and shiny.
stuff, and it's new. And then we talk about it.
Yeah.
Just like we did in season 3, really.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. Okay,
But,
it's not that- well, we do have a big difference for season 4 because Nerdarchy.
We got some
Dave
of Nerdarchy
definitely
here.
has some movies he's seen.
He does. This is actually rather exciting, and we both saw the same movie. I also went to go see How to Train Your Dragon 2, and I went with my whole family and my in-laws and my nieces, and it was very emotional. Very emotional roller coaster. There's one scene which is designed to break the hearts of children 3 times.
That's fucked up.
In the same scene.
Well, that's the
Spoiler.
hallmark of a good movie.
Yeah. Well,
Ruining childhoods.
Spoiler. So if you don't want to have a spoiler, skip ahead 2 minutes. I won't take long with it. But okay, so Hiccup finds his mom, and his mom and his dad are getting back together, and everything looks wonderful. And the big bad guy is mind controlling Toothless, which is his dragon, and is trying to use him to kill Hiccup. And he's like, no, don't do it. Fight it, buddy. Fight it, buddy. So I look over and I can see the eyes starting to mist up of the children. And my youngest I'm like, oh, come on, hold strong, don't worry. And then it's getting more and more intense. And then the dragon goes to shoot the fire, and his dad goes, no, Hiccup, and jumps in front of the way. Then he gets killed by Toothless. Oh, now at this point, my 5-year-old daughter is just bawling, absolutely crying. And then, of course, Hiccup's like, no, Dad. And he's dead. And then like, his pet dragon like kind of snaps out of it, Toothless, and he's like coming up like, what happened? What's going on? And then this is the other part which totally breaks. Then he just yells at him, get away, you have to. And that's it. Now my 5-year-old daughter is crying, outright bawling her heart out, full force. Now that makes my 14-year-old daughter start crying, and all the children are crying. Every child in this theater is crying, and I'm just like, holy shit! And then the bad guy snatches control of Toothless's mind again and hops on his back and then rides out with his mouth. I'm just like, leaves him just cradling his dead dad in the fucking snow, and I'm like, holy shit! You're not even gonna have something happen to fix this
That's
movie?
pretty brutal.
Yeah, but that was the big scene for me. But you were talking about it earlier. What was your impressions from this?
Okay, well, first of all, you would think our kids would be better conditioned from Disney movies. I mean, pretty much a parent always gets offed. It's part of the formula.
Yeah.
It's true. Started with Bambi.
And they've been
Probably
running strong
earlier.
with that for decades. But I enjoyed it. Up until that point, I found the movie kind of tedious. But it's a child's movie, and the second one is never really as good as the first. But up to that, I just felt like it drug for me.
Well, up to the big battle, really, when the
until really until he started. He met the mom, and then the dad tracks them down. That's when it started picking up.
Well, yeah, it definitely took its time in the beginning. So you know how things were in Burke, which is the city that they live in. They sort of reestablishing the relationships amongst the kids, which are now teenagers, and then the Hiccup's relationship to his dad. How his dad's like, "You're going to be the chief now," and he's
what
just
the
like,
problem is with that? If you've got kids and you're taking them to see that movie,
they already know all that shit.
they're already watching that shit on the cartoon.
Yeah.
And you can't help being a parent and walking through the room or sitting down or whatever.
Oh, no, I've seen them all.
And that
Trust
shit
me.
is on, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
you already know what's going on.
Seen them all. I know exactly what's going on.
So I didn't really need to relive that.
Well, yeah. But once it started rolling for me, though, it definitely had a nice pace up to the end. That was neat with the Alpha Dragon coming out. There was the good guy Alpha Dragon, and then he had enslaved a bad guy Alpha Dragon, and they were. I wasn't sure if the bad Alpha Dragon killed the good Alpha Dragon, or just wounded him and took over the.
It looked like he
dragons.
took him out. I don't know. They didn't really show it.
They won't show that. They'll show his dad dying in fucking full, color and protracted. But the dragon, they're like, no, don't show that. That's too much.
Too sad. It's too much.
But
That they can use for the third one or whatever, but I got to give that whole.
When it comes back as undead.
yeah, that'd be fucking cool as shit. But yeah, and I found the ending to be satisfactory. I mean, it was kind of neat the way it worked out. I thought it was cool that they painted the dragons when they were flying around and stuff. They had war
for
paint
the
on and
races,
shit.
for the
the
Dragon Olympics.
which is handy because now they can sell basically the same dragons with
Different colors.
different colors.
Yeah,
on them.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Good
Well,
move, marketing guys.
You know, in conjunction with that, my kids do these like craft things from Lowe's, and it was How to Train Your Dragon too. It was the sheep launcher,
Oh,
and I was a little disappointed because you know what it lacked?
sheep.
No, it had sheep, no black sheep,
Oh,
because apparently the black sheep is a big part of the game.
yeah.
So how are you gonna have a sheep launcher?
If you catch
without
the black sheep, it's like big time points or something.
Yeah, and there was no black sheep.
Huh.
So
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I don't know where they can go from here with it now, though. I mean, it's pretty much he's the chief. Toothless is the new alpha of the dragons. How do you one up that for another story? They kind of
No, then
cut it.
he has a kid, and then the kid and the new dragon have antics. But that'll probably be the setup for the TV show.
No, they'll just reboot. They'll reboot it. They reboot everything.
That's true, considering they don't even wait like a couple decades to reboot stuff anymore.
Oh,
They're
Superman,
like,
Spider-Man, they're like, what-
yeah, Spider-Man just ended.
It's been 4 years, let's do another
again.
one.
That third movie was bad.
well, actually, you know why they do. You know why that happens now.
Money.
Well, no, it is and it's not. It's because the licenses are about to run out.
Yeah,
that's
someone
true.
buys it all.
And they need
movie.
to fucking throw one in there before the
Yeah.
license boss pops on it. And they're like, what do we do? We're going to lose the money. I know what we can do. We can fuck up the whole Spider-Man franchise.
Why don't we come up with something creative and new?
No, fuck
No. Let's just shit on something that already exists and is good. Yes, well, let's do it shitty.
It'll be easy. We don't have to actually try.
Yeah, they don't have to.
They'll give us their money anyway.
Yeah,
Break their fucking
yeah.
hearts.
See, he blends right into our movie reviews.
Yeah.
He's that tone of disappointment.
Well, you know, it's the thing, like the X-Men movies, right? Great movies if you've never fucking read an X-Men comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's like, because if you know anything about the X-Men series, the first one, it's like it was only cool because we finally got an X-Men movie.
Yeah.
And otherwise, Then the second one was bleh, and the third one was fucking
Third
terrible.
one was awful.
But then
I heard the most recent one was all right.
the
I
last
didn't
two
get a
have been
chance to
pretty
see
good. Yeah.
It is, and you know, since this movie's
But
been out for a while, fuck them all anyway. Spoiler.
More spoilers, but yeah, it still
they
doesn't
reset
quite follow.
everything. They said, okay, we fucked everything up, and now it's not fucked up anymore. Do over.
Oh yeah, they
they
fucking
did
Days of
the
Future
like
Past was
the Star
retconned
Trek
the movie.
The Star Trek reboot, which Abrams did.
Yeah, the alternate universe.
We couldn't be bothered to actually do more than just fucking put a focus group together and poll them for random people of what they remember about Star Trek. That we'll take that list and we'll just make a movie with this shit in there. And that's what pissed me off about it. It's not that it was fine on its own for what it was. It was just a space action adventure
action
movie.
movie,
Yeah.
right.
With a Star Trek branding on it. There's nothing about that movie that is Star Trek. And if you're making a Star Trek film, don't you want people who like Star Trek to like it? But they didn't. They said, you know what? That represents this smaller group of people, but all these other chunk heads over here, they like to see color and explosions.
and lens flares.
The only thing it didn't have was like fart jokes and frickin' Adam
Straight
Sandler.
up full frontal nudity.
Now, I know you guys like to throw around the term movie cuntiness.
Yes.
Mine is actually very low. It's very specific. You know, like for a lot of the comic book things, because I read comic books, they piss me off because they make. It's not because they make changes. It's because they make arbitrary changes that don't mean anything.
Yeah, if you're
Right.
going to change
And
it, like
they're generally bad.
be sensible about the things you change. Game of Thrones, the
There's a
HBO
lot of
series
changes
versus the
there.
book. There's definitely a lot of changes, but the changes make sense because the way they're telling the story in the
Even
visual
the
format.
Same idea with like the Harry Potter films as well. I mean, 'cause as those books got longer, they changed and left out a lot of stuff.
Oh, I
but
totally never
It didn't
read any
really
of the
hurt
Harry
the
Potter
films
shit.
any.
I was too much of an adult, but when those books came out, and I just never got a chance to read
I
them.
I didn't read all of them.
I haven't
but
read
I mean,
them
I don't
all,
hate
watched
them.
all the
Movies.
movies yet.
The movies were entertaining.
Yeah, I thought the movies were good till the last two, and the last two were just so, like, kind of drawn out, and they didn't have that feeling of wonder and excitement that
No,
you had in the
they
others at
didn't.
all. They were like they were going for. You think if they're going for a more serious tone, that
It wasn't so much that it was gritty as that it was disjointed and gritty.
yeah,
It made no fucking sense.
it ended up with an incoherent mess, which didn't really develop characters. There wasn't a lot of tension because you were bored for
yeah.
vast stretches of time.
It's
I
all right,
mean,
they need to be finding this shit, but they're there. But why is there even a school? Like, because the whole thing is that they're supposed to be going to school.
Yeah.
Those last movies, they kind of blow by in the second one to go, oh yeah, we need to have a battle here, just so we remember that they're actually
there
at
was
the
a school, and when you get to the battle, you don't you really care
No,
because
'cause even
you're
then,
just
not
so
much happened.
drained through two fucking movies. They padded that shit out, and the second movie, what I bitched about was the scene with was when the red-haired kid, the ginger kid, I can't remember his fucking
Ron.
because he's dating Hermione, right? And they're kind of a
Yeah.
thing. But Hermione and Harry Potter are close friends.
Right.
So the Horcrux thing that he was trying to break open and kill was like fucking with his head. So it conjured up this image of a naked Hermione and a naked Harry Potter like making out, and I could like totally like see her ass and the whole like side boob, and I'm like, dude, there's fucking kids in the movie theater. I shouldn't be able. Here's my rule of thumb: if I can jerk off to it, then it shouldn't be in a children's film.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. And I was stunned that like my wife and I think my mother-in-law were just like, oh, but it's Harry Potter. I'm like, what the fuck you mean it's Harry Potter? Like, you do this is bullshit. Like, I jerk off to this shit. Oh, you're disgusting. Oh, I'm disgusting. I'm just no. That's the problem. Why did I? And it was just like it was like shoehorned in there, like they're trying to put some sexiness into it. I'm like, what are you doing? It's Harry Potter. Stop it. The fuck. It's like everyone likes Christmas and everyone likes porn, but you don't. The Christmas porn is just wrong, Pete. It's not Christmassy and it's not porny.
I don't know. I kind of like Christmas porn.
yeah.
I don't want to watch it with my family.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, okay.
But
You don't really, you don't play the porn on Christmas
Yeah.
with your family.
Wake up,
but you know what? It's all right to see where that big candy
Santa
cane
Claus
ends
is
up
coming
sometimes.
all over the town.
Yes.
Let's watch that while we unwrap our
The
presents.
hoe and a hoe and a hoe.
Yeah, exactly. So, it just felt kind of weird.
Yeah, I
well,
understand.
since we ripped on what movies are doing wrong,
Yeah.
what about taking a look at some ones
You
that
said
did
you
it
saw
right?
a second movie.
I did see a
Yeah.
second.
What was the second movie you saw?
The
Cat on a Hot Tin Roof? That's
Transformers one.
Oh, yeah.
Extinction. I actually wanted to go see Godzilla, right?
Oh, you should have
Which
seen
was really good.
And so I asked the boy, I'm like, you want to go to the movies? We'll go see Godzilla.
Oh.
I don't even know if it's still out, to be honest with you, but I just know I wanted to see it.
But yeah.
And he's like, I don't really want to go see it. I'm like, what do you mean you don't want to go see that? It's a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
And he's like, can we see the Transformer movie? I'm like, all right, we'll go see the Transformer movie. I know your Uncle Ted wants to see the Transformer movie.
Well, it's the
too.
perfect age for those movies.
It is.
Well,
And-
I heard that there was no peeing, no balls, and no humping. So,
Wow.
yeah.
No, there was none of that. Hey, and here's the thing. I read the worst, most horrible review the night before. It was
Yeah.
the best thing I could have done. Because then
Oh,
I
'cause
went
your
and saw
standards are so
zero
low.
expectations.
yeah, I'm like, I was almost mad going in. And then I was like, you know what? This isn't that bad. It's better than the second one.
If you want to see a really funny review of the first three movies,
Yeah.
Half in the Bag just put this out.
yeah.
Luckily, I saw it before my computer died. They called it a triple feature. It's the two guys on there and their friend, I can't remember his name. Rick, I think. My computer's dead. It's like I lost my ether link to my extra brain. But so they sit down. There's 3 screens, and they start each one of the movies. They start at exactly the same time, and almost exactly to the mark. Each of the films.
Does, like,
different
the same
things start
shit.
happening the same thing. Megan Fox comes out, and other chick comes out. And it's exactly on the marks. And
It's all
incoherent
very
robot battle scene.
formulaic.
Incoherent robot battle scene. They're sitting there and they're like, and one guy's going, oh, there's 3 of these. I don't even know. What's that? I don't know. I think I'm going to throw up. There's just too much happening. And they're just watching it. And the one guy's just laughing his ass off. Rich, that's his name, Rich. And I love his laugh because he has this, but it's like a full power belly laugh. He's just amused by shitty movies. And when something really stupid happens, watch him watching, they watched all the Resident Evils one after another.
Oh, God.
And it's just him laughing at the dumb fight scenes. It's just so ridiculous. He's like, oh my God. He's like, look, she jumped off the motorcycle and exploded for no reason. He's just laughing. Oh, it's the fucking best. It's the best. But they watch it's 15 minutes long, so it's like the best of.
So it's not bad, yeah.
And but it's like the highlights of it, and it's creepy. The way each movie is such a fucking product.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same schlep, the same crap, just out again and again and again. The only difference is they increased in length.
Right.
The first one ended
this
first.
The new one's like almost,
It's almost
3 hours, right?
yeah.
Yeah, the first one ended, then the second one was a little bit longer, then the third one was a little bit longer. And apparently the fourth one is now the longest, I guess, 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Wow.
I also heard that you can actually tell what the fuck is going on with the robots in this one.
Yeah, you couldn't tell in the first three.
Yeah, the combat scenes in the first three were friggin' so hard to
Visual
follow.
noise.
Yeah, I can't tell what is.
It was just a blur. But no,
what?
it came out really well. You know, it took way too long for the Dinobots to get introduced.
Yeah, that was like one of the big selling points of the whole thing. Look, it's Dinobots.
Yeah, I heard it's like last half hour.
Yeah, pretty much. That sounds about right. And then they don't speak. They
No
Me
Grimlock.
Grimlock.
No vocals. Which is
The fucking Hulk said Hulk smash. Why can't they have Grimlock say Me Grimlock?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you know what? The script writers aren't that good.
They couldn't even shoehorned in a "Who are you?" Me Grimlock.
No, they realize that nobody gives a shit.
They did the arbitrary battle between Grimlock and Optimus Prime, so that
of course, battle for who's the toughest is.
Yeah, so Optimus can lead them.
So he can ride Grimlock into battle.
Yeah, well, I think that was really the selling point with my son wanting to go see Transformers.
See what they do with the Dinobots?
Yeah, he wanted to see the Dinobots. He's 13.
Well, I remember being a kid and the Transformer cartoon being really awesome.
Yeah,
Don't go back and watch it then.
Oh, I was a huge fan.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I loved the movies. The movie, I should say.
Right.
Because it was so hardcore. Because it starts off with, like, Transformers getting
Just
killed.
start getting,
Like Ironhide getting blasted fucking and killed. And it's like, holy
shit.
Holy shit, this is fucking intense. And then after the movie, they had another... it was... another Transformers series right after the movie, which was, but it involved Cybertron and the newer Transformers and stuff, and it had Galvatron.
Yeah, they
in
picked
it,
it
so
up
Megatron
from the movie, which was nice.
And Optimus Prime was like dead.
Yeah,
and then
Optimus Prime was the
and then they had
at
one
that
thing
point.
where they brought Optimus Prime back, but he was like being controlled by the Quintessons, which were these five-faced creatures. And I was like, wow, this is kind of fucked up. I remember emotionally it kind of moved me. I'm like, oh man, it's Optimus Prime. I can't believe. And then I went back to actually watch those original cartoons. Now,
Like recently?
they're
Yeah.
so fucking retarded. I'm like, these are the dumbest fucking thing.
Yep.
G.I. Joe looked fucking
G.I.
brilliant.
Joe is terrible. Thundercats are now terrible. Like
all those
old
things that were
80s
cool
cartoons.
are just such shit. So
Can't
you
do it
know.
now.
Do you guys remember Thundar the Barbarian? Used to
Oh
come
hell
on Saturday
yeah!
mornings?
No,
oh
I
fuck, dude!
actually don't
Thunder the
remember that one.
Barbarian was the shit.
Yeah,
I was
I watched
watching that.
Conan.
Here's my biggest Thunder the Barbarian memory. All right, and I have an old head here who's old enough to remember this shit. I'm a kid. It's Saturday morning. I got to get my Thundar on, okay? And it starts off and it has the intro with the comet flies by and the moon shatters in half. All of a sudden, we're interrupting this for a special news bulletin. President Reagan has been shot. It was when he was assassinated.
President Reagan?
Yes.
Or Kennedy.
No, Reagan. Kennedy. It's not that old for Pete's sake. Kennedy was in the 60s, Pete. Dude, am I that old? It was a color cartoon.
He may be taking some extra lumps after this.
Yeah, what the hell, Kennedy? Well, who was it? Was it
George Washington? Whoa,
George
I
Washington?
don't know. You were going on about how old you were.
King George the Third?
Making sure you were watching the right Thundar.
And then it was interrupted, and I remember as a kid, I was furious. I was pissed off. I was like, and then when it was, because, obviously this is a big deal. It was a big deal. The president was shot. They couldn't find the football, which is the briefcase with the nuclear code.
And Carl has been a Democrat ever since.
Oh, dude, I was so pissed off. And I remember when it was done, and this is how young I was. I remember it was over. I thought, at least it's over, and they put regular programming on. I thought they would just pick up Thundar right where it left off. But that was it.
They broke your little spirit.
They broke my little kid heart, and I was like, I remember crying because I was so just pissed off and heartbroken. Because back then it wasn't like, we'll just put it in a DVD or watch it. No, back then you had to wait 7 fucking days, and probably fucking George Bush Sr. his vice president would get shot or something or sprain his ankle. And that would get interrupted. I remember being so upset by that. But yes, Thundar the Barbarian. I do remember
the reason
that.
I bring that up. And
Are they rebooting it?
No. And we're talking about shitty cartoons that we loved, and it's all we had, right?
I haven't watched that.
It was the pinnacle. So my kids were sitting in the family room with me, and we're flipping through the channels.
Yeah.
And I'm on like Boomerang,
Oh, yeah.
and it's coming on. It just started. I'm like, you guys got to watch.
You're gonna love this shit.
And it was so bad. And they're like, they got like tears on it. Can you please change the channel, Dad? Anything? Can we watch some commercial, something educational? I'm like, you don't understand. This was the pinnacle of cartoons in my day.
Now it's just shit, Dad. Come on, what the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So
that's too bad.
So I understand that. Yes, the bar was pretty low with Transformers, the cartoon. I get that. But I mean, that doesn't mean they had to just make it just as shitty, but have it with real actors. I mean,
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's like, do we fucking really need people in it? Who goes to see the people? Anybody? Like, sure, I wanted to see Megan Fox bend over, but other than that,
it helps you
there's
dial it.
nothing.
It helps you as the watcher, the viewer of the film. You're kind of experiencing it vicariously through the viewpoints of the human beings. So that's why, like, a movie has to be like really
Do you really believe that bullshit?
Well, no. I mean,
Well, in certain aspects, like Godzilla, for example, I get why you need to have the people there because there's just big fucking monsters.
Yeah.
But the Transformers are kind of like sentient beings. They're aliens. They
well,
have
even
their own shit.
even like District 9, which really humanized the aliens a lot.
Yeah.
You were still seeing it through the what's his name?
the guy.
The guy that turned into one eventually.
Right.
You
Which,
were still
again,
seeing it through human eyes.
That makes sense, but those aliens also didn't have a English language kind of communication thing.
Yeah.
The whole Transformers thing, they all spoke English.
I kind of
actors
feel
are
like
cheap.
I kind of feel like with the
Yeah, you got a point
Transformers,
there,
we've
too.
seen enough animated stuff at this point where we really can just go. We don't really need people other than maybe a backdrop.
Yeah, and it could have had people in it and still been good.
Well,
it's not like
that's
the
true.
people made it shitty. The only people that made shitty were the Micheal Bay. Those are the people who made it. They're the ones that made it shitty.
And the writers.
And the fucking it's not the writer's fault because if they came with a shitty script, Micheal Bay could have been like, "This is crap. Get this out of here. Just come up with an original idea. What the fuck? Or find me someone who can. I'm Micheal Bay. I have millions of dollars." And if I want a script that's
Need to
good,
explode all the things.
you could probably get a good script cheaper than you could get a shit script. But instead, he
Look
said,
on the bright
I
side,
don't
he'll be
care about
pissing
the
on the
script.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles soon.
I don't even.
No, that's already happened. I've seen the most recent trailer, and
It's so
god awful.
It's so fucking retarded.
I mean, it's like I can't even begin to describe how fucking bad it looks.
So,
there's some
does
movies-
anyone else want the '80s Turtles back
yeah, there's some movies
from
that
the movies?
you just know are going to be
They should have done
shitty.
that because the thing is even if you go back now and watch those films, they hold up at least visually. I mean,
Yeah.
the writing is still bad.
Well,
but
there were kids' movies though.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, in
if
that
you're going to make a
respect,
kids' movie,
the first
make
one
a kids'
specifically.
movie.
It holds up. It's still pretty good, but these fucking. I saw this latest trailer. And the
It's fucking awful.
creepy looking turtles are creepy looking.
Yeah.
Megan Fox should never be given any speaking things ever. She just
Porn.
needs to be.
They like
Yeah,
African Americanized like the turtles, and I'm like, this is borderline fucking racist almost.
Yeah,
just
and
with the
then,
features
you know,
and
Shredder and Splinter
fuck?
are white instead of some
It's just-
flavor Japanese.
I don't know.
Now it's
Oh, they're supposed to be white.
no, they're not supposed to be white, but they're not. They're white in the movie.
That's what I mean in the movie. I didn't catch that part.
So
Oh, yeah,
Shredder,
yeah.
The Shredder is not like some ninja dude. Apparently, it's like a fucking power armor suit, and it's some like business executive.
That's in the power
that's in
armor
it,
suit.
and he like fucking shoots blade lasers.
because
or something.
because
I don't know.
Pete,
So fucking gay.
it's hard for retards in a movie theater to identify
God, it looks so bad.
a rogue samurai, a Ronin, as being bad. They don't understand. They stupid. But
don't
you
worry,
put
this whole fucking
business
movie's
guy,
bad.
Business guy bad. They are bad. Look, he bad. Business guy's bad. I know they're bad.
That's the dumb. That's how dumb. That's how it's offensive. How stupid they think we are as
Well,
movie
I was
viewers.
offended at how stupid the trailer makes the movie look. So
Uh,
I won't be watching that.
I'll probably watch it anyway.
Isn't that- and let's see, what's it called? Fucking Disappointing Rim 2 was announced.
Oh, yeah. Pacific Rim 1. I guess we have to call it 1 now. It won in the box office, maybe, but it definitely lost as a movie. It was just such shit.
Yeah. That's Life is not fans of Pacific Rim.
I've heard.
It was such
Pilot's in the corner here.
fucking crap.
I liked it.
It was just so dumb and bad. I mean, it was a kids movie though.
we don't have to
If it
harp
was
on it
sold
too
as a
hard.
kids movie, then fine. If you just want to say it's a kids movie, schlock, whatever. But I mean, kids movies don't have to be dumb. Remember the original Star Wars, Star Wars Empire and Jedi? That was serious fucking big, dealing with big issues of life and a lot of the major things that we go through. It was like our own mythology, a modern day mythology, and kids loved it. And it didn't have to be stupid. It didn't
Yeah.
have to have a Jar Jar go, "Oh, me stopping turkey." I mean, that never happened. You didn't have to be stupid. In fact, the kids, like, I remember being a kid and watching Chewbacca swing over onto the AT-AT, and when he went, he did like
The stupid Tarzan
yeah,
thing.
that totally took me out of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking dumb, and I just like kind of cringed as a kid, as a child. I'm like, this is stupid. And all the other kids thought that part was stupid. And George Lucas was like, I got to just sneak that in when we edited it. Yeah. See, I think that movie was good despite George Lucas. I think there were things stopping him from being as dumb as he wanted to back then.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know
know.
what alchemy went into preventing his fucking cinematic Down syndrome from spewing all over everything.
Well, you also didn't have ILM as they were, or as they are now back then. But
yeah.
Well, what do you
practical
guys
effects.
think of the reboot? Well, I mean, not the reboot, but the newer
Episode
movies.
7.
I got
Thor
nothing
the
'cause there's-
Millennium Falcon kicked fucking what's his name's ass.
Well, it
Harrison
was
Ford.
actually. I like that they built an actual set for the Millennium Falcon, a practical. They built basically they built the Millennium Falcon so you could be in it. That's what was so cool.
There's a
about
lot
the
of
original
practical
series.
effects in
Yeah, and
this new
so
one,
that's
so-
encouraging to me.
Well, you know, Disney's put together a lot of good movies, and them being back in it is probably
that's
a
that's
good thing.
mojo.
Yeah, and they bought the license for it for so
Yeah,
much money.
Disney's
it
got-
has to be good.
Because now Disney's got Marvel and Star Wars, and
Yeah.
all that
Well,
going
and
together.
If they can grab DC, it'll be like the trifecta.
now if you go back to what I was saying before about good movies, Marvel Studios, they're fucking killing it with
they
every
have
one of their
come a
movies.
long way.
Yeah.
and their stuff has been
Well, no,
really good lately.
Although I saw
won't-
Thor: The Dark World, by the way,
What'd you think of it?
that was.
I got bored at 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was. Now, I thought it was better than the first Thor movie, but that's because the first Thor movie was so fucking bad. This one was just a bunch of stupid fight scenes about fighting bad guys,
I'm all right with
dark
that.
elves.
My problem is my only issues with the Thor series isn't so much anything about the movies. It's just that I don't give a shit about the character.
And there's nothing at risk. They're gods. They're immortal. And
Not Norse gods. If you're familiar with your Norse mythology.
Well, I mean,
they,
it takes a lot to kill them.
they were the only gods that could die. Like if you go along with the mythologies, that's what's actually made the Norse mythology so much more heroic.
But I mean, you know, Thor's not going to fucking die.
No, of course he's not going to die. I mean,
And-
most of them aren't. It's not. Martin didn't write it, so they're not
exactly.
dropping like flies.
I don't know. And it didn't really. I started watching it, and I got like maybe 15 minutes in, and I couldn't just sit and watch it anymore. So I just was on the computer playing Civilization 5, kind of just listening, and this might be something I might want to watch. Nah, it's just dumb. Oh, they're stealing a ship. Oh, it's a bunch of impossible fight scenes with the ship. Oh, they're just going to jump off of it onto another ship. Okay, that defies all the laws of fucking physics and all right, whatever, but they're gods, so I guess nothing matters. Whatever. Oh, it's over. Okay, good. The good guys won. Of course they did. The bad guy lost, and he got transported into another planet, and his whole ship crashed on him because that's how bad guys have to die. I'm like, oh, well, the bad guy that I didn't give a shit about anyway, because there was zero development of his character. And oh, look, Loki, that part where Loki like pretends to betray him, but then turns around and doesn't betray him, and I was just like, I don't care, and just fucking ended in an orgy of special effects. I've had enough of this shit. Fine, you fuckers.
I'm enjoying your pain, but I enjoyed the Thor movies. I was never a big fan of Thor in the comics.
Me either. I never really read the comics very much. I had friends that were into the X-Men comics, so I was familiar because they would talk about them, and I was familiar with it.
Yeah,
and they would tell
read
me
more X-Men than Avengers.
I would look at the cover and go, "Oh, this is happening." Oh, and then they would talk about it for like ever, and then they would have role-playing games where it would be set in the Marvel universe. So I was kind of familiar with the characters and stuff like that. So the movies for me, I was just like, whatever. I mean, Cyclops, they hit the marks for me, basic marks. I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, but I didn't have the pre-existing fan love going on with the book, so I didn't have anything to compare it to. So I just looked at it as a self-contained story, loosely based on comic characters that I'm aware of. That's how it was for me. It wasn't like, I can't believe they did it with him and they violated this timeline. I'm just like, so it made sense in the movie.
It's actually better that way.
Yeah, really. It made sense. 1 was good, 2 was better, 3 was awful, and I haven't seen 4, but I heard it was decent. But
those aren't.
We're
there's
circled
not.
back around to Transformers already. Oh.
They're not.
No, that was still X-Men.
They're not Marvel.
Oh,
they're not Marvel titles. I mean, they're not Marvel movies. They're not Marvel Studios properties.
Yeah. Right.
That's
Fox. They're Fox. Yeah.
And then Spider-Man is Sony.
Yep.
So, like when you look at Marvel as a whole, at all the movies they've done, when they make changes, it's always just really like an update to the character. It's not like, oh, we're just going to take away Wolverine's adamantium claws.
We're going to arbitrarily
just
fuck with shit. Like what they did in Aliens 4. Let's just change the whole nature of the aliens. Let's make a human-alien hybrid, because that's stupid.
Why not?
That's stupid and pointless.
Well,
let's have them make alligator sounds.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You did read a book, too.
Oh, yes.
There was some fanfare about that.
Yes, I have read a book.
Before we just be cunty about movies for the next 3 hours.
Well, no, I'm going to get into it next week, but
okay.
The Veil of the Betrayers, it's a great series. I'm going to get into it next week because all my information is on the computer.
Okay.
And I want to give it its full
proper.
review. Because it's fucking, it's awesome, dude. I can't wait to talk about it.
Hopefully it can be brought back from the graveyard.
Yes. But that does take us into a brand new segment, Pete.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Speaking
it sounds
of
fucking hilarious, stupid shit.
Future Micheal Bay fans.
And future dumb audiences of America.
These are actual excerpts that high school students put on tests, like history tests, etc.
As like answers and stuff.
Yep.
Oh, awesome sauce.
Prepare to be dismayed, but also you'll find it humorous. All right. Number 1. By the way, this is from tickled.com. TICKLD.com. They got a bunch of funny
like
stuff.
A porn site, but that works.
Well, he just collated a bunch of different things. So that's what turned me on to this. And the rest are just from random sources throughout the internet, interwebs, etc.
Like we do.
Number 1. Ancient Egypt was inhabited by mummies, and they all wrote in hydraulics. They lived in the Sahara Desert and traveled by Camelot. The climate of the Sahara is such that the inhabitants had to live elsewhere. How would they be inhabitants then? I don't know.
Wow. This is a brilliant piece of science fiction.
Actual answers for tests.
That person's going to be a teacher, too. You just know it.
They'll probably be a director. The Bible is full of interesting caricatures. In the first book of the Bible, Guinness,
My favorite book.
Oh, yes. It's the darkest, most bitter chapter.
Oh, but so delicious.
Adam and Eve were created from an apple tree.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yep. I mean, even within its own fiction, that's fucking wrong. It's basically X-Men 3.
It's no more ridiculous, honestly, than the actual story. One of their children, Cain, asked, "Am I my brother's son?"
I wanted to go to that guy's church because that's just fucking awesome.
I mean, what the fuck?
That's like I was talking to some nerds last night, and they were telling me about this friend of theirs that has decided he is now an atheist Satanist.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
So that made me laugh.
Still pondering the atheist Satanist.
Oh, he's so diabolical a Satanist, he refuses to believe in Satan. He's worshiping him just to piss him off because he's that just evil.
Anyway, all right.
Moses led
Made
the
me think of
Hebrew
it.
slaves to the Red Sea, where they made unleavened bread, which is bread made without any ingredients. In case you were wondering what unleavened bread is, it's
It's a bread being made without any levees.
Moses went up on Mount Sinai to get the Ten Commandments, which might have been a recipe for unleavened bread. He died before he ever reached Canada, though. So, you know.
That's true, I think.
Well, I mean, the last one is an accurate
Yeah.
statement. Moses never went to Canada, and he died. And therefore, he died before he reached Canada.
Yeah.
And Mars and Pluto.
And many other
the surface
places
of the
as
sun.
well. What the fuck?
Solomon had 300 wives and 700 porcupines. He might have had 700 porcupines. I don't see why, though.
Hey, can you disprove that last part?
I cannot. So it could be an accurate statement. But absence of evidence is not evidence of proof.
Right.
The Greeks were a highly sculptured people. And without them, we wouldn't have history. The Greeks also had myths. A myth is a female moth.
Wow.
Just let it roll in your head, because it took me a minute to realize the dumb.
It's
Yeah, just let it sit there for a minute.
These kids should be studied.
These kids should be stoned. I think these
They
kids
might
were
be
stoned.
holy shit.
I gotta catch my breath for this one.
Myth is a female moth.
Actually, Homer was not written by Homer, but by another man of that name. He was still written by Homer then.
God damn you, Homer! You read about Homer?
It was Homer, but it was written by another man of that name. Well, it wasn't Homer. It was Homer.
It's not the Homer you're looking for.
It wasn't Homer from The Simpsons. Evidently, that must have been the point
I
of
really
contention.
thought that's where that was going, but
No, it was too dumb for that. They weren't even trying to be kind of clever dumb. Socrates was a famous Greek teacher who went around giving people advice.
Okay.
They killed him.
yeah. That's like the real sort of like ABC Family Channel version of that.
Socrates died from an overdose of wedlock, which I guess
I'm dying from an overdose of that right now.
it's a slow death.
Yeah, it's
After his death, his career suffered a dramatic decline. So I guess they just carted his corpse around, but didn't give out any advice. What did he say? Nothing. He just stank a lot. In the Olympic Games, Greeks ran races, jumped, hurled the biscuits, and threw the Java. They just biscuits are terrible. Here, catch. It's some coffee.
or a programming language.
Oh my God. Eventually, the Romans conquered the Greeks. History calls people Romans because they never stayed in one place for very long. Oh my fucking
that's
God.
like an unintentional pun of terrible stupidity.
I think that was the attempts of a feeble one-candle power fucking brain trying to guess.
Let's see, Romans. They're just roaming around.
Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket.
Yeah, see?
That sounds
We
like
just
something
roaming
Socrates
from here
taught
to
me.
there.
Yeah.
So great.
Socrates, should I study for this test? Nah. Just guess. You'll be fine. Julius Caesar extinguished himself on the battlefields of Gaul. The Ides of March
Was he
murdered
burning?
him
Yeah.
because they thought he was going to be made king.
Well, you got to beware those Ides of March. They're
Was that a band
bastards.
back then or something?
I think so. Yeah, there was a Roman emo band because they toured a lot. You know what I mean? That's why they were Roman.
There's more.
Good.
Dying, he gasped out, "Tee-hee, Brutus." Was he tickled to death? Was he assaulted with feathers? Oh my God. Tee-hee, Brutus. Thus Caesar giggled. Nero was a cruel tyranny who would torture his subjects by playing the fiddle to them. No, I'm pretty sure it was more intense than that. Maybe he was a bad violinist.
I mean, he might have had a fiddle player playing while craziness was happening.
Well, that
but-
and there were no violins back then. That's another thing that I don't think anybody really gets. Joan of Arc.
Yeah, they had lyres. And
Yeah, exactly. Joan
point.
of Arc was burned to a stake, as in the meat,
Stuff. Oh, so delicious.
and was canonized by Bernard Shaw, whom, if you're familiar with him as an author, he would be the last person that could canonize people for the Catholic Church. My God. Finally, Magna
Good old Bernie
Carta.
Shaw.
Magna Carta provided that no man should be hanged twice for the same offense, because that would just be
The
cruel.
Magna Carta double jeopardy clause.
There's no hope for the future.
Oh man.
In medieval times, most people were illiterate.
Don't worry, people still are.
The greatest writer of the feudal ages was Chaucer, who wrote many poems and verses and also wrote literature. That was of the feudal ages, not the feudal, which weren't feudal ages anyway.
No, Chaucer senpai.
Oh, God. Another story was William Tell, who shot an arrow through an apple while standing on his son's head. What the fuck?
They had all the right bits, just kind of jumbled them up and went, there.
It's like they took a bunch of myths and stories and shit they saw in a cartoon and just put it into a blender and just it was puked into their brain. Why read a book when you can just vomit out shit you saw
in a
Disney
somewhere,
cartoon?
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth was the Virgin Queen. As a queen, she was a success. When she exposed herself before her troops, they shouted, "Hurrah!"
Well,
It's true. She was the Virgin Queen.
she was, yeah.
And as a queen, she was a success.
Yep.
Because she was
But
a
I
queen?
Don't think she went around exposing herself.
I'm pretty sure she didn't.
Probably, that's not very queenly.
No, and I'm sure that... But her troops probably would have shouted, "Hurrah!"
Yeah, that, had that happened.
Hurrah, I guess. I mean, what do we do here? I'm a little confused. Should we shout tee-hee,
When I
Brutus?
see boobies, I want to shout hurrah.
Yeah.
It was an age of great inventions and discoveries.
Yes, it was.
Gutenberg invented removable type and the Bible. He invented the Bible.
Well, somebody did.
Another important invention was the circulation of blood. 'Cause before then, you just had till it stagnated, you died a corpse by like age 2 days.
yeah.
Sir Walter Raleigh is a historical figure because he invented cigarettes and started smoking. And
right.
Sir Francis Drake circumcised the world with 100-foot clippers.
World's got a
Jesus
big dick.
Christ.
Not really, though. Circumcise the world with 100-foot clippers.
I just
What the
It's so-
fuck? I want to know what the question was to that.
I don't know how a brain can contain anything that's stupid.
Because that sounds like the question would make that even funnier.
The greatest writer of the Renaissance was William Shakespeare. He was born in the year 1564, supposedly on his birthday. He never made much money. He's famous only because of his plays. He wrote tragedies, comedies, and hysterectomies, all in Islamic pentameter.
Every fifth line says praise Allah.
I love his hysterectomies. They're great. Women weren't allowed to see them, obviously, because there was problems. You couldn't have children afterwards.
Oh, snap. Islamic pentameter. That's awesome.
Romeo and Juliet are an example of a heroic couplet. Because they were like a couple that didn't last very long, a couplet.
Right.
It sounds like a... Isn't that like
Well,
isn't that Klingon for fuck you?
No, couplet because of the last two lines in the act always rhymed.
Oh.
That's got to be the only reason that person knows the word
Knows the
couplet.
word couplet?
Yeah.
Romeo's last wish was to be laid by Juliet, which was probably accurate, although
Yeah.
I don't think it was expressed that way in the play. Writing at the same time as Shakespeare was Miguel Cervantes. He wrote Don Quixote.
I love
Donkey?
I love some Don Quixote.
It sounds like a kind of weed, doesn't it?
or like Shrek 6.
Yeah. The next great author was John Milton. Milton wrote Paradise Lost. Then his wife died, and he wrote Paradise Regained. I think because he was dying the slow death of
wedlock?
Wedlock.
Yeah.
These are actual answers on tests.
I wish we would have had the questions to these.
I wish too, because it just would have probably made it even more ridiculous to know what they were supposed to be an answer
You're like, shit,
for.
it was a math problem.
Yeah, really. Diagram this sentence. During the Renaissance, America began.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Christopher Columbus was a great navigator who discovered America while cursing about the Atlantic. Fucking Atlantic, it lasts forever. Oh shit, it's
Great
America.
Navigator, yeah. Considering he was looking for India.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite call him a good navigator.
No.
His ships were called the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Fe.
That's a good flavor at Taco Bell.
Yeah, maybe that's what they were remembering.
Maybe. After being stoned, going to Taco Bell. Yeah.
Here's more, though. Later, the Pilgrims crossed the ocean, and this was called the Pilgrim's Progress. The winter of 1620 was a hard one for the settlers. Many people died, and many babies were born.
All at the same time.
Captain John Smith was responsible for all this.
Oh, they're Mormons. That's why it's
He
all
went around
fucked up.
murdering people and knocking bitches up. Congratulations, Captain John Smith, who also went on later, 100 or 200 years later, to start the Mormons.
Hurrah.
Hurrah! Hurrah, indeed. One of the causes of the Revolutionary War was the English put tax in their tea. Tax, as in the things you pin posters to the wall with. Obviously, that pissed people off because they were drinking their tea.
Yeah, man,
and
that's fucked up.
they're like, ouch, this hurts. Also, the colonists would send their parcels through the post without stamps.
Holy shit, those rebels.
Finally, the colonists won the war and no longer had to pay for the taxis. Delegates from the original 13...
Free taxis for everyone.
who originally...
Bullshit.
Just fucking pay for taxis. Taxis should be free. Delegates from the original 13 states formed the Continental Congress. Thomas Jefferson, a virgin, and Benjamin Franklin, who definitely isn't a virgin, were two singers of the Declaration of Independence. Apparently that was a song.
Well, that was their boy band. It was the day
Oh!
the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, yeah, and they came out and just rocked the,
Oh, yeah.
the Continental Breakfast.
That's why they called him John Hancock.
Franklin discovered electricity by rubbing two cats backwards. What? Powerful bolts of lightning can be... Forward, you're fine. Little stack of electricity. Backwards... you better have a kite with a key handy. Or a locking kite, as they're known amongst scientists. And then he declared, a horse divided against itself cannot stand. Which is
Well, if you've ever
probably...
seen, like, a
an
bunch
accurate
of
statement.
different horror movies, yeah. So what's that one? 13... what's that one where they cut the fucking shit in half? With the big glass wall. Is that the 13 Ghosts? Or was that a dude? A dude got cut in half like that. What was the horse?
And he couldn't stand either.
It was
No,
13
he-
Ghosts, And also,
The Cell had something like that in
the
it.
Stephen King had in the shit about the dome had a cow get cut in half by the dome when it came down.
Okay.
That as well.
There you go. So, yes, things when divided on themselves can't stand very
They
well.
definitely can't
At least
stand.
one half of them can't.
Lastly, Franklin died in 1790 and is still dead,
Well,
which is nice.
Good.
He's not roaming around.
It's always good not to have zombie Franklin.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you could be rubbing cats together. At least you both have electricity.
Sounds devastating.
Soon the Constitution of the United States was adopted to secure domestic hostility. Under the Constitution, the people enjoyed the right to keep bare arms. As you know, in case you want to
Right.
roll up your sleeves and get to work, you could.
Either that or when you killed a bear, you got to keep all of it instead of everything but the arm.
That's what I was thinking. Back scratcher.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln became America's greatest president. Lincoln's mother died in infancy. And he was born in a log cabin, which he built with his own hands.
Yeah.
He built the log cabin which he was born in.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln freed the
He
slaves.
also killed vampires.
He, I wonder if that's. I haven't read this, so if it's in it, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves by signing the Emasculation Proclamation. They were free, but they weren't very happy about it.
Oh, but they felt like less of men.
On the night of April 14th, 1865, Lincoln went to the theater and got shot in his seat by one of the actors in a moving picture show. Actors in a moving picture show.
Oh.
The believed assassinator was John Wilkes Booth, a supposedly insane actor. This ruined Booth's career, by the way. I would beg to differ. I
I don't know. I think he's pretty well known.
I never heard of him except in context of shooting the president. Meanwhile, in Europe, the Enlightenment was a reasonable time.
Meanwhile, in Europe.
Voltaire invented electricity and also wrote a book called Candy. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Somewhere there are French people listening to this going, sacre bleu, and throwing up. We should invade America. They are filled with morons. Meanwhile,
Holy shit.
I like that he invented electricity. Not discovered electricity. Invented
Totally.
electricity.
Came up with the idea and everything. Gave it to Franklin so he could rub the cats
Rub the
together.
cats together. Meanwhile, gravity was invented by Isaac Walton. Invented. Before that, everyone was just floating around. Probably how
My goodness.
Lincoln was able, in a womb, to assemble a log cabin
Right, while
so
his
he could
mother
be
died
born
in
in.
infancy.
Exactly.
That is some time travel bullshit right there.
It is chiefly noticeable in the autumn when the apples are falling off the trees.
Otherwise, gravity
Otherwise, you're like,
is tough to figure
yeah,
out.
you're like, well, he invented it, and thankfully, otherwise, apples would stay just floating around, and we'd be like, how will we ever reach them? Because we're stuck to the ground by some other force. Maybe static electricity.
That's what it is. It's the sticky force.
These two cats I've become stuck to won't let me go up.
All the claws.
Johann Bach wrote a great many musical compositions and had a large number of children. In between, he practiced on an old spinster, which he kept up in his attic. In between, Bach died from 1750 to the present. So next year, he could come
You
back.
never know. Him and Franklin would.
Yeah. Bach was the most famous composer in the world, and so was Handel. Handel was half German, half Italian, and half English. Well, maybe he was like cut in half.
So not only was he tied for most famous composer, he's half and half and half. That's pretty good.
This explains it, Pete.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
He was very large. He was 1.5 times the size of a normal person.
Well, there you go.
Well,
Then
yeah,
he does
at least
have
they
three
explained
halves.
it. It's
Yeah,
not a
you
mystery
know.
now.
It was a build-up to their closing argument.
Fair play.
Oh, my God. Beethoven wrote music even though he was deaf. He was so deaf.
How deaf was he?
He was so deaf, he wrote loud music. Because when you're deaf, you just have to be shouted at and you can hear things. That's what deaf means.
I just want to
Clearly.
point out that build-up was kind of weak.
Good job, fucking idiot student.
Yeah. He took long walks in the forest even when everyone was calling for him. That's how they knew he was deaf. Maybe he was looking for the apples that never fell because gravity,
Gravity hadn't been invented yet. Yeah.
Beethoven,
Actually-
he expired in 1827 and then later died for this.
Beethoven's past his expiration date. Better kill him.
The French Revolution was accomplished before it happened. Why not?
It's a
Abraham
revolution
Lincoln
that revolts itself.
built cabins before he was born. Why not?
Holy shit.
And catapulted into Napoleon. Which is probably why he was so saucy and felt like taking over everything. To avoid having revolutions, which hadn't been accomplished before they happened, catapulted into his person. Napoleon
Right.
wanted an heir to inherit his power, but since Josephine was a baroness, she couldn't have any children. The sun never set on the British Empire because the British Empire in the east and the sun sets in the west. That's so stupid.
It's like
We're doomed. We're fucking doomed.
because I mean, it's like, well, I guess you got a point, but
Don't they
God,
notice the
you're dumb.
nighttime comes from the east too?
Yeah, no.
I mean, it doesn't, but in their caveman fucking logic, their medieval grasp of reality.
They don't probably even know where fucking Europe is, so it's it's,
Good point.
It's America.
Napoleon was the most famous American ever.
America.
And lastly, Louis Pasteur developed a cure for rabbis. Wrong. Wrong.
Wait a minute, we can't cure rabbis now?
I think Hitler
They're
tried
gonna
to
still
do
be
that,
running
and it
around?
didn't work out so
Well,
well.
there's no cure for rabbis. I think they have a vaccine out because I'm not a rabbi, but I've seen people afflicted by rabbis.
Yeah.
They've got a full-blown case of rabbis. They've got the hair, the hats.
Yeah,
They say
little-
oikavolt all the time. But it gets dumber.
Oh, good.
Madame Curie discovered radio. They mean Madame Curie discovered radiation. This is Madame Curie coming to you
Coming to the
live
radio.
on the very first radio. I'm a disc jockey, Madame Curie. That's just so dumb. They took guesses based on things they overheard but didn't remember.
Yeah.
And they based it on contemporary shit that they do remember.
And then had a complete inability to spell.
And lastly, Pete, Karl Marx became one of the Marx brothers. Because why not?
Oh shit.
So,
Yeah, Carl.
There's no hope for the
Marx
future.
And Nietzsche Marx.
sure, why not? And,
Wow.
yeah.
We're all as doomed as your computer.
That is, yes. I think they all have white screens in their heads.
Yeah, it's just nothing but.
I think they just text all day in class. And then when it's time for tests, they say, put your cell phones away. And they go, blah, blah. And then they write stuff on tests. And then they just pass them. They have to pass them because
Yeah,
otherwise
because
there will be
it's-
50-year-old people still like in sixth
Because
grade.
in today's society, everybody's a winner.
They've made
Fucking
the United States is the
bitches.
Special Olympics of countries.
Yeah,
If
as
you
far
try,
as intellect goes. Yeah.
If you try, you're a winner. And,
Even if you don't try.
if you're there, you're a winter. You're a winter.
You're
You'll
a
know
winter,
it's
yes.
happening to me, Pete. This is the winter of our discontent. Here,
Winter is coming.
yes, that's what they would put. They would put Shakespeare wrote the book "Winter is Coming." Why not? Why
Based
not?
on the TV show Game of Thrones.
Yeah, why not? But I have some weird news, but I think I will save it for next time because we've gone on for a decent amount of time, and I have a lot of weird news to catch up on.
You want to give Dave one weird news because
I was like,
he was kind of upset
my
about
God.
it.
Was he
last
dying
time.
for the weird
Again.
news last time?
Yeah.
I like
You
the
know
weird
what?
news.
Okay, well, okay, as long as I'm not conducting a fatigue on anybody here.
Let's
You know.
give him a weird news. Find
Let's
a
jump in.
weird one and
Let's do our weird news.
Whether it's people eating Pete on eggs in China or a woman who discovers her second vagina, straight from the internet, it's Weird News.
That's right, weird news. Some of which is brought to you by way of Chuck Shepard's NewsTheWeird.com, some from the Smoking Gun, the Raw Story, Huffington Post, and some from a random sorted APR news sources scattered throughout.
the interwebs.
That's right, the interwebs. All right, we're going to start with Pete's favorite section.
Oh, we going to dumb criminals?
Dumb ass criminal.
Oh, you know it.
This is inflatable fun. This is actually from a listener.
Oh, I hope it's the one about the guy fucking his inflatable furniture.
That is correct, Pete. This was given to me by a listener on the Facebooks. Edwin Toberta, age 35, was arrested in Hamilton, Ohio on Wednesday for allegedly having sex with an inflatable pool raft by the side of the road. You figure in your pool it would at least make sense. Fox 19 reports this is the fourth time Edwin has been arrested for this kind of offense. In 2011, he was caught with his pants down in an alley with his neighbor's pink inflatable raft.
Those inflatable rafts are so goddamn sexy.
Oh, yeah, especially the pink ones. He went to jail, but was arrested again in 2013 for having sex with exactly the same raft.
Well, at least he's keeping it consistent.
Which inexplicably had not been thrown out. If a man if my neighbor stole one of my kids' pink inflatable rafts, because it has to be a kid's raft, and was fucking it in an alley, and then got busted, I wouldn't I know
leave it in the alley. Holy shit!
This is evidence. When you're done with it, can I have it back? Because my child needs to. I want my child to ride on this freshly fucked raft. No, and fuck no. He pled guilty to public indecency because it happened within the view of children that day. Because it's not creepy enough just to fuck a children's inflatable raft, you have to do it when there are kids nearby to completely ruin everything for everyone. It is unclear if his most recent alleged offense took place with the same pool raft, though. We're not sure yet. 2002, he was arrested for publicly pleasuring himself with an inflatable pumpkin. This object wasn't a pool toy. It was like an inflatable,
cereal
decoration. Cereal inflatable fucker. A pumpkin fucker.
Inflatophile.
In his newest mugshot, he's wearing a T-shirt that reads, "I'm out of my mind."
Yeah.
I saw the picture. It is absolutely true. It says, I'm sorry, "I'm out of my mind," and underneath it says, "Please leave a message." The message is, "Stop fucking inflatable shit in public, you weirdo."
Yeah.
I mean, it's one... Dude,
it's fine to do it, but just stop doing it in front of kids and stuff.
It would be one thing if he was, he went to the store and bought it, and then his kink was, "I want to fuck it in an alley." But it seems like he's one of those borderline pedophile-y kind of guys because he wants a kid's thing and he wants kids to watch. You should probably be shot in the face at that point. Yeah. Probably should be put down fucking hard.
Yeah, you made it a creepy thing.
But again, fucking inflatable shit in public, it's kind of like one of those slap on the wrist things. Like, here's your fine. Please stop doing it in public. But doing it in front of kids with kid shit, creep factor level 10.
I thought in Jersey that shit's like Megan's Law.
Yeah.
Dude, I do road construction, right?
Yeah.
So I pee on shit all the time, and I'm like,
that was coming out of nowhere. I guess you have a point.
But I'm afraid, if I'm at a school, because sometimes we're doing a parking lot at school, even if it's in the summertime, I'm like, I don't care. I will fucking hold it. I'm not getting fucking arrested.
Because you're a decent
Megan's
fucking human being, though.
Yeah.
You're not going to be. There's kids here. I don't want to whip out my wang where there's any kind of an expectation that a kid will see my wang, because that's kind of creeper shit.
But highways all across New Jersey are fair game.
Well, dude, I mean, honestly, if you're driving on a long distance trip and you got to go, I've had it where I was waiting in line at the dump of all things, and when you find out what I did, it'll be ironic. And I was waiting, and it's free day at the dump. So this is like 20 years ago, and I'm in my piece of shit truck at the time, and I'm hungover as hell from the night before. And I had eaten some bow tie noodles before I went to sleep because I was like, nom, nom, nom. So I'm in there, and I go to throw them up, and I throw them up. And one of the noodles is hanging. I run to the woods, throw it up. One of the noodles is hanging on my nose. That's how violent it was. So I pulled it out of my nose. It's awful. You think, so people see me go and throw up. We move 2 cars forward. Now, all of a sudden, I get the bubble gut real fucking bad. I don't have anything with me. I don't have napkins. I don't have toilet paper. I don't have like a rag. I have nothing. But I am wearing a shirt and then an old dress shirt because it was what I was wearing the night before. I mean, I literally passed out in bed and then woke up to go do the free dump thing. So I go into the woods.
Can I tell you one thing? I'm very impressed with your commitment to going to the free dump day.
Oh, I didn't have a choice. I was kind of trapped. And so, well, dude, I totally would not have gone. It was I was staying with my friend's family at the time, and they were like, you know, all the shit was loaded in my truck, and it was kind of like, you got to get rid of this stuff. And I was like, I said I would do it. So if I say I would do it, I couldn't just be like, I got drunk the night before, I'm too stupid. That wasn't cool. So I was like, no, I got to do this. If it was just me, I would have dumped it on the side of the road and said, fuck you. 2 days later, when the hangover wore off.
I don't know if you should say that on a...
I don't give a
you're
shit.
broadcast.
That's what I would have done. Since I did, I'm fine. So I just run into the woods as far as I can go, but I don't make it far. I make it like 4 trees in, and it's just a blasted landscape. There's no scrub brush, just trees. So I just try to align myself that the minimum of my just the
stuff.
the shit and my junk is going to be exposed, and it just blasts out of me this awfulness, this Lovecraftian horror comes tumbling out of my ass. Nothing but clicks and consonants. It's just terrible. And I'm just like, oh my God. So it's finally out of me. And I'm just like, the whole time, like, you know that relief you get when you're holding it in, it's just agony, and it's finally free, and you didn't shit yourself, so you're just like, I don't care if everyone's watching and laughing. And this is back before cell phone cameras, so I didn't have to worry about being recorded. It was just me and the people in line who could never forget this moment the rest of our lives. So I realized then that I didn't have anything on me to wipe my ass, which was a horror show. It was like Dagobah. It was a mess. It wasn't just like, oh, I just have to wipe my, where it came out of. It was just like, just everywhere. It just defied the laws of physics. So much tried to occupy the same space that just spread out horizontally.
Like a shotgun blast.
It was like a shotgun blast in my ass. And so I'm like, I cannot pull my shorts up. This is abominable. What do I do? So I took off my dress shirt, and I was like, got to take one hit for the team. And I just wiped as much as I could. And there was no way to hide it, what was happening. Because the tree was like maybe 5 inches wide.
That's awesome.
So nothing was, and I'm just like, I'm like, dude, and I'm just wiping. And just wiping, just hoping to get as much of it off as I possibly can.
It seemed like an eternity.
But there was a lot of it. I ran out of clean shirt. No, I ran out of shit before I ran out of clean shirt.
Oh, well, that's
so
good.
At least I had a clean ass. I was about 6 or 7 gallons lighter. And, I mean, I was just rinsed out.
Top of the world, Ma.
No, I was still like hungover, but I was in less agony. So I pull up my shorts. I'm heading back, and people are at this point honking their horns and clapping because it's all just a bunch of like husbands who are at this dump.
Yeah,
just nobody wants to be there. Like, yay, it's the dump. I want to go on that ride. None of that. It was all just husbands on honeydew lists. And so I'm just like, woo! And I just went and just sat in my truck for another 20 minutes till I got to pull up and dump the shit out of my truck, and then go home and just take a warm bath. It was just awful. So yeah, that was.
I know your pain. I've hung my ass over many a guardrail.
Oh yeah, dude, and there's nothing you can.
Fortunately, as a professional, right? You got professionals working on your roads.
Oh, yeah.
I have a roll of toilet paper with me.
Oh well, yeah. At least you planned ahead. Speaking of not planning ahead, this is called bad marketing skills. According to police, a Panama City beach officer was on patrol in an unmarked car when he was approached by Coleman. The 28-year-old Floridian was pushing a baby stroller carrying his 2-month-old infant. Lieutenant John Deegans, the uniformed officer, reported that Coleman approached him using slang words, indicating he was attempting to sell narcotics. Yo, you want some weed? When Deegans showed interest, Coleman parked the stroller next to a vehicle about 20 feet away. Like, fucking jerk off. As detailed in a probable cause affidavit, Coleman offered to sell Deegans $25 worth of bud and displayed a small clear plastic package containing a green leafy substance appearing to be cannabis. Coleman was then immediately arrested for possession with intent to sell the 1.4 grams of marijuana. He was also charged with felony child neglect for allegedly seeking to conduct a narcotics transaction while acting as a caregiver for the baby who was left unattended while a pot sale was negotiated. Fucking scumbag.
Yeah, really.
Dumb-ass criminal. This one's called...
Usually that's the crackhead move right there.
Yeah, it's weed. I mean, how desperate are you?
I mean, he must have had to go buy his crack.
Fucking hell. This next one's called Calling Out.
Oh, it's my department.
Dwayne Yeager wanted to call out so badly that he to avoid going in on the job that he did something really dumb to get out of it. That's because, according to deputies, his wife didn't want him to miss work doing fabrication at a steel plant, which is actually what he did to avoid going into work. He fabricated a burglary of his house. Yeager, age 31, called police a bit after 7 a.m. and said, "I need a sheriff in Brandon." He told the dispatcher he'd gone for a short while, then returned to see his doors and windows open and his TV on the floor. Deputies showed up on an apparently ransacked house but saw no signs of forced entry. A neighbor reported that Yeager was gone from 6:30 to 7:15, went out through the front door, opened the front bedroom window, and lifted the blinds. Then he stepped outside and waited for deputies. The neighbor said there was no car on the property before Yeager returned. So basically the neighbor
Was just like,
saw the whole thing. Yeager then admitted the lie to avoid going to work. He was arrested and charged with one count of giving false information to the police, then released later that day on $500 bail. So he didn't go to
he's gonna
jail.
Need to get some overtime though to pay for that stupidity.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that $500
Idiot.
fucking... And there's no way a judge is going to cut him a break.
No, not for something dumb like that.
Tossing a salad for salad? Short on cash, the 29-year-old Floridian Alonzo Liverman allegedly offered to provide a salad to a prostitute in exchange for oral sex. Liverman was arrested.
That's fair enough.
I mean,
Yeah.
but a salad? How good is that salad? I mean,
Maybe it's like sour work salad. I don't know.
Yeah,
From
but-
Gourmet.
Well, he's given her the salad for a blowjob, so that's
maybe she looked hungry. Like, man, I'm really hungry. Hey, I'll trade you the salad. What do you got in trade?
Maybe she's really hungry and on a diet.
Yeah.
Liverman was arrested Monday morning during a reverse sting that netted 9 other men for soliciting a prostitute. The hookers in questions were actually undercover Daytona Beach Police Department officers.
Oh.
So he was unlucky and not very good at negotiations. While negotiating liaisons with a female officer, Liverman, who was operating a bicycle, revealed that he did not have any money. "I'm hungry. You got food?" the undercover asked. Liverman replied, "I got a salad." "I'll give you a blowjob for a salad," the undercover cop declared.
Whoa, wait a minute. That really sounds like entrapment to me. That's
Well-
some bullshit. I don't have any money, right? So you're not really looking for sex from a prostitute if you don't have any money.
No, it was while he was negotiating. So apparently he was like, "I want to get some form of sex. I need to get this load out of me. Can you help?" "I'll give you a blowjob for a salad," the undercover declared. Liverman replied, "You ready to go?" The document does not detail the location of Liverman's
You got
salad
a salad?
or its street value.
Yeah, right.
Liverman was busted because he and the police officer agreed upon the sexual act in exchange for food. During a court appearance yesterday, Liverman, a Daytona Beach resident, pleaded no contest to the misdemeanor charge, for which he was found guilty by a circuit court judge. Liverman was sentenced to 2 days in jail and fined $500.
What the fuck?
Again, $500.
So
For a fucking salad.
for a salad. Look, listen, this is what our government is spending money on. Haggling over a blowjob for a salad.
Yeah,
Well,
and then
it
putting
does-
a dude in jail for 2 days.
It sounds like, hello, I have need of a service. And hello, I am that service's provider. Would you consensually agree to exchange goods for services? Yes, I would.
See, now to me it sounds more like, hey, I provide a service. Do you have anything? No, I don't. I only have the salad. I'll give you a blowjob for that salad. Complete entrapment.
What guy can really say no to a blowjob, though?
For a salad.
Especially for a salad, yeah.
I don't know,
If I had
man.
an extra salad,
I
I'd
think
be
this
like,
one sounds a little greasy to me, man.
Yeah, if I was single and I had a salad and some chick was like, "That looks like a good salad." Well, I made it from stuff from my garden. That salad is so good, I would blow you for that salad.
That you made it from your garden. You grew stuff and then made a salad.
I will
So-
give you all of my salad I'll give you all of my salad for all of your blowjob. Done. Sounds like an equitable exchange. Sounds like
Yep.
I'm getting over because I mean, A salad, you can buy a salad anywhere. You can make a salad.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
make yourself a blowjob. It doesn't
Well, that's
work that
true,
way.
but how long does it take to grow those vegetables?
Yeah, but
Pull them out
how
of the
hard is
garden.
it? You don't grow they grow themselves pretty much. You start them. How hard is it to get a blowjob? I mean, Jesus. For a married guy, it's impossible. It puts this one. Next one's called "It Puts the Text Message in the Basket." A Florida man is facing obscenity and stalking charges after allegedly sexting a series of explicit photos to a local police officer. Police report that Paul Curlis, age 30, dialed 911 early Sunday morning to report a suspicious vehicle in his Marco Island neighborhood. Following up, Officer Ryan Montgomery returned Paul's call using his department-issued cell phone. After the suspicious car matter was resolved, Montgomery received a text message from Curly's phone asking, "Who's this?" A second text declared, "I am, boo." The cop then received 3 separate photos from Curly's phone. Quote, "The pictures were of a male subject wearing little to no clothing," end quote. One photo showed the man in a black thong and nothing else. A second image showed a nude male subject bent over forward, exposing his anus with his testicles tucked between his legs. The final picture showed a male wearing lingerie bent over forward, exposing his anus and looking back at the camera.
Oh,
The photos
that's
were
creepy.
followed by a text stating, "So... ... Hours after the texts were received, police questioned Curlis at his home. He claimed to have been very intoxicated the prior evening and did not remember much from the night. Curlis, who declined a police request to examine his phone, said he was not sure if he had sent the explicit photos to Officer Montgomery's phone. Police concluded that Curlis was the man seen in the images. I guess they identified him. He was arrested for stalking and prohibition of certain acts in connection with obscene lewd materials. I don't even know. That's so legalese and convoluted.
Yeah, what the fuck?
He was booked into Collier County Jail, where he remains locked up in lieu of $10,000.
I think in layman's terms, it's don't fucking send naked pictures to a cop.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
send
right?
pictures of your
Dumbass.
anus. Don't call a cop boo ever. It's just
They
not a
don't
good
like that.
idea. Don't send them pictures of yourself in a thong or in lingerie. Here's leaving a deposit. A Tennessee man was arrested Friday night after he walked into a bar, dropped his pants and underwear, and attempted to have sex with an ATM machine.
All right.
Lonnie
That's putting the ATM in ATM porn there.
There you
Yeah. Lonnie Hutton, age 49, was arrested at the Borough Bar and Grill, the Murfreesboro watering hole, where he allegedly sought to make a 9 p.m. deposit. According to the police department report, an officer was dispatched to the bar where a witness said Hutton walked to the ATM, pulled down his pants and underwear, and exposing his genitals. Officer Rickard added, Mr. Hutton then attempted to have sexual intercourse with the ATM.
How do you do that? Those holes are really small.
I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
guess.
Like I'd like a nice tight slit, but
Yeah,
come
but
on,
that's
man.
way too tight. Maybe just dry humped it. After his encounter with the ATM, Hutton then began to walk around nude, around the bar, just thrusting his hips into the air. He was escorted from the bar and told to sit at a wooden picnic table. But once outside the bar, he again exposed himself and engaged in sexual intercourse, this time with the wooden picnic table.
Splinters.
He was booked in county jail on a public intoxication and just being an outright
Yeah,
disgusting
you
person
think?
charge. Police officer reported Hutton,
Like,
who
God, at least get a fucking inflatable raft or something.
Well, he got locked up in lieu of a $250 bond. He smelled of booze, had bloodshot eyes, and had slurred speech. He is not charged for exposing himself. Just the public intoxication charge is scheduled for a July 1st appearance. So we'll see how he makes out. And lastly, meth is a hell of a drug. Our meth stories are usually pretty good, as you may have noticed listening there to some of our previous podcasts. We have some of the best in meth reactions.
we get the best meth heads around here.
Oh, yeah. Tiffany Stoltz, age 23, and Raymond King, age 28, are accused of cooking meth on the grounds of a Jacaranda Public Library in Venice, Florida, the Sarasota Herald Tribune reports.
Always Florida with this
Dude,
stuff.
Florida's filled with fucking freaks, man. Outright freaks.
Meth heads and public masturbators.
Dude, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office received a tip on Monday that someone appeared to be making meth near the library, according to the Branton Herald. An undercover officer responded to the scene and reported that King removed several items from his backpack and began mixing liquids. According...
How bad is the neighborhood you live in when you just know? You're like, yo, they're making meth over there. Pete, do you know what making meth looks like?
Apart from what I've seen on Breaking Bad,
I was about to say,
no.
Breaking Bad really opened up the meth world to us as a consumer culture. Because now we have a general idea.
I never really watched that show, so I still don't know what it looks like when someone makes meth.
You have two cracky-ass looking motherfuckers boiling shit.
Yeah, they're probably up to no good.
They're up to something. More than likely, it's meth. According to the news release, Stoltz was sitting on a mattress nearby. So I guess they brought a mattress along so they could relax while the shit cooked. I don't know.
I guess.
The couple was taken into custody. Officers removed common meth-making ingredients such as pseudoephedrine, liquid petroleum fuel, lithium batteries, and tubing.
Naturally.
Stoltz and King are homeless. I guess that's why they had the mattress with them.
Right.
According to the Bradenton Herald, and police say King had been living at the library for about a month. They are both charged with felony counts of attempt to manufacture methamphetamine and possession of listed chemicals with intent to manufacture, as Barbara Hijack notes in the Sun Sentinel. I guess they wanted to make their meth by the book. Ha ha.
Oh, my goodness.
Newspaper reporters leave the comedy to the comedians.
Yeah, right? That was terrible.
Jesus. So, and that's our weird news.
Yay.
See, it's your first weird news segment.
I know. My weird news cherry has been popped.
Yes.
It feels special.
We definitely had a lot of weirdness and dumbness in our episode today.
True. Yeah, actually, speaking of weird news, I saw a thing on the internet that
Yes?
Friday, apparently at
This Friday or last Friday?
this past Friday.
Okay.
And speaking of highways, there's some dude that stripped down to his underwear and was hanging off of one of the overpasses over 55.
Is that what the hell was going on?
That backed up traffic, right over there at exit 39 or something like
Yeah,
that.
because they closed. My wife told me they closed it down.
Yeah, it's because
the
there were
other
some
day.
like mostly naked guys trying to jump off and kill himself or whatever.
Dude,
I don't know.
I would have gone if they would have blocked me from getting to work. I would have went straight through that fucking barricade. Been like, hop in the back of the truck if you need a job.
Your life has just got better. Naked
Like,
guy.
there. See, he's not trying to kill himself anymore. So we can go now, and I can go to work. Thank you. Goodbye. And then just like tell him to get out before I get to work. Out of my truck, you crazy fucker.
Hey, you want to kill yourself? I'm going about 90 now. Get out.
I have to kill myself at work. It's like a slow death, like wedlock.
Like that's right, like overdosing on wedlock.
Yes. I don't know how you overdose on wedlock. I guess you'd have multiple wives.
Yeah, more about being Mormon or whatever. They have multiple wives.
Oh, you mean
right?
like Captain John Smith, who
Yeah.
who killed all those pilgrims and knocked up all those pilgrims?
It's at the same time, right?
And he built a log cabin in the womb or something.
Yes, that's right. It was.
How is
born
it
in the-
possible, Pete, that they can walk around not just with complete and total full access to the sum total of all human knowledge at their fingertips, but I mean they have a device with them at all times that can access the sum total of all human knowledge? How are they so fucking stupid, Pete? How is it possible that the more access to information, the dumber they are? How's this?
Because they use it to watch Snooki.
Yeah, it's the Jersey Shore MTV show. Yeah.
Oh, man, that had
Kim
more of an
Kardashian.
impact on our species than I thought. Because I mean, if you think about it, there were people who would just sacrifice their whole lives to a religion just to learn how to write. They would just, I will become a monk, give up women and everything that's fun. Not that there was much fun in the Middle Ages, and just so I can learn how to write and read. Now, there's this magical device that they can just go, oh, I wonder what's in the Magna
Because
Carta.
these people still don't know how to write or read.
I'm very sad, Pete.
Yeah.
This is now I'm
That's
starting.
that's why the section is called No Hope.
Yes,
Or
no
whatever.
hope for the future.
Yes.
But that's very sad. It also makes me sad that my computer doesn't work, Pete.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get up early and take it. I'm going to have to
makes
pay
me more
money
sad.
to get fixed. They're probably going to look at it and go, haha, you watch porn and you have the special, I don't know, ball sack virus or whatever. I'm like, oh, my wife's going to say, what was wrong with the computer? I'm going to go,
Ballsack virus.
I don't know.
oh.
It's weird.
Must have been all those kid sites that Jen has been going to. I guess. Keep the kids off my computer. Yeah. Wow.
Probably.
I'm feeling kind of down now.
Sorry.
But you know what? No. Let's look on the bright side, Pete.
Okay.
We need to turn this around. We need to turn this frown upside down, Pete.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I ordered 3 books, 3 brand new books from Amazon.com.
Right? 3 books. Got
They're
it.
coming.
3 books.
I am reading a book, which is decent, and I just started. I'm like in the first, not even through the first quarter yet. So I got that to bide me over.
Well, that's good, too.
I've got TV and Netflix on the TV,
There you go.
and Hulu and all that shit on the TV.
All is
and
not
I
lost.
I can even, although it takes a while with the remote to dial in the names on the YouTubes, I can still go on to the YouTubes
Oh, okay.
through this awesome, because Jay and Ross got me that awesome DVD player. It's region free.
Yeah.
But it also has all that shit in it where you can surf the web and all that shit.
That's good.
I just got the Young Ones box set in the mail. With it's the newer, stupider version. It's called, and so that's kind of cool. So I can just watch that whole series
So you
again.
still got some decent entertainment options.
And there's Penny Dreadful. There's other things I can be doing. I've got books to read. I'm just not going to think about the World of Warcraft I can't play, or the Star Wars: The
Well,
Old Republic,
that'll
or
still be
Civ
there.
5, or any of the other
Well,
things
stop
I
thinking
like
about
to
it,
do.
because now you're thinking about
You're right.
it.
You're right. You're right.
You totally went off track. What books did we order?
I don't wait. There's one called The Red Sword. They were on my wish list. I checked out the ones you recommended. That whole series.
Yeah, Dresden Files.
Yeah. That looks awesome. I was reading. Everyone was like speaking really highly of it. So they're on my next go round.
Yeah, it's gonna be like crack once you plug into
Yes,
that.
that's why I wanted to finish up these books first, because I have a feeling that I'm really going to like this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It just sounds so
It's the
fucking
best
cool.
when you're reading them and you're like in a crowded room and all of a sudden you bust up laughing for no reason and people are just looking at you weird, and you
Yeah.
can't stop laughing.
Well, I kind of had that. I was reading the book I'm reading now. It's called The Enceladus Incident.
All right.
And it's after the Daedalus Incident.
Oh, okay.
It's the follow-up to that. And it's kind of, excuse me, there's our world, which is set in the future, and there's a parallel universe, which is like ours, except in that one they have something called alchemy, and it lodestones and magic and stuff, and it's set in the late 1700s. And it allows them to sailing ships to go up into
Okay.
space and shit. And planets are like Venus is inhabited. It's just very jungle and hot. Mars is a desert. There's a advanced alien species on one of the moons of Saturn on Titan in this universe. And what happens is these two parallel stories kind of intersect because the dimensions start to cross over. And so they close off. And this next one, in this next series I'm reading, there's side stories going on, and it's the people on our side are actually trying to reach the other side now. They're trying to replicate it so they can go visit and possibly use some of this magic for their own shit, you know, and just to open up trade and to explore it. And the one character's like based loosely on Neil
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Thank you. I never remember the name. It fucks me up. Neil deGrasse. Or do you see those fucking ridiculous memes? Like universe has planets in it, and it says Black Science Man, and it has a picture of him. They're the dumbest.
I haven't seen
They're the
that.
dumbest memes ever, and they're meant to be just totally. They're meant to make fun of dumb people, really.
Right.
But they always have pictures of him on there, and I guess it was like somebody that, like, obviously some people were talking about, Cosmos and the work that Niels is doing, and someone probably said, "Oh, you mean that Black Science guy?" And so they just made Black Science Man, and they just put like planets are often round, Black Science Guy. And it's a picture of him, and it's just this dumb shit. It just makes me giggle. But the character's based on him, and he really wants to explore this other world. He's like all about science and shit. So it's cute. So so I got that going, and I was at my daughter's recital, and that's about 16 hours long.
Right.
And
Yeah, I saw there was about a billion pictures.
That's where I just came from. Not your daughter's recital, but mine.
wow, it's still going. It
that
could
would
be.
Yeah, because that would be creepy if I came from your daughter's
But
recital.
it was great because it was great. I love watching my nieces and my daughters dance. I love it. I get on that. I'm a dad. They're dancing. It's awesome, you know.
Right.
And my 14-year-old, she is incredible at dancing, dude. And I don't just mean that like a dad being proud of his daughter, like, wow, she didn't fall over. She's fucking prima ballerina. No, she's really fucking good, dude. Like, I'm like, dude, she's as good at 14. You know, she's been doing it since she's 3. Loves it. She's already a teacher there now, student teacher.
Oh, that'll. Yeah.
But and the little kids are funny because I got to watch my daughter argue with her cousin on stage. She's like, "Oh, you go there, you go there."
That you know, speaking of, that was like the best part, the little ones. Cause
Oh, yeah, it's
there's
cute.
like one kid like dancing the whole time, but they're not doing anything to
No.
other ones. And then one kid is too close to the other one, so the kid physically moves the other kid
Oh
into
yeah,
their
it's
spot.
just funny shit, dude. I was loving it. I'm loving all that stuff, but the in between shit, no, the stuff that doesn't have my daughters in it, I'm like, I want to kill myself. So what I'm doing is, you know, the curtain goes, it's dark, curtain opens, and as long as there's reasonable lighting, book is open. I'm reading book, and it's this great nautical battle where this the one sailing ship's coming down from space to get into the Mediterranean, where Napoleon Bonaparte is attacking the English because he's trying to take over Egypt.
All right, I'm just picturing you there with a book light and your book.
But no book light because I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a dickhead and distract him. So I can get by with the ambient light. I got decent eyes, so I'm like reading it, and then once the light in between, I stop reading, open it up reading. So I'm getting to these really exciting parts, and then the song that does the act that doesn't have my kids in it ends, and it's dark, and I'm like, oh. And then I'm waiting the next one. Oh, good, there's light, and I'm reading it again. But yeah, I got that book and a couple other ones to finish, and then I'm on to the Dresden Files. I'm pretty excited by that. I can't wait to check those out. So, Pete, there's some good stuff.
Good. Yeah.
I'm going to send it to the computer people.
There's at least a little hope for the future.
And
Maybe
they're
not
gonna-
the future of our country, but
They're going to smoke cigarettes and be frustrated and fix it, Pete.
sounds like a plan.
And they'll have to fix it because I'm
You're
paying
them to? Yeah.
Yes. So it's not like, you know, I'd feel bad if I kept you there for like 6 hours trying to fix it. There's not enough home cooking on earth to compensate for that.
Yeah,
I
especially
mean,
because I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it.
yeah, but they don't know what the fuck's wrong with it. They still have to figure it out. It's their fucking job.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well, you know, sometimes when you hire a professional who knows what he's doing, he goes,
That helps.
dumbass flips
Well-
a switch, it's fixed.
Yeah, you know, I'm hoping it's something simple. I'm hoping they just go, oh, it's we
Flux
plugged
capacitor.
it into
Yeah.
the special thing, and the flux capacitor wasn't fluxing, and we needed 1.21 gigawatts of electricity to reboot your hard drive. I'd be like, whatever, that's fine.
Make it happen.
Just to boot up your computer, you have to go 88 miles an hour now, and it's also we put it into a DeLorean. That's actually cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get a DeLorean out of it. I'm all right with that.
Hey, I was hanging out across the aisle from the DeLorean at the Comic-Con.
Oh, that's
Nice.
so fucking awesome. But plus, I get to say I would get to do my 1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah.
Great Scott! You know, and anytime you can do the Christopher Lloyd thing, it's a good day. But yeah. So we're forcing ourselves to end on a good note, Pete. Let's end on a good note.
I'm all for that.
Let's end on a good note. I feel
Good
pumped
note.
up. We got Nerdarchy in the house.
Word up.
We got to do
Hoorah.
some weird news and shit.
Yeah.
We got a new segment, which was just
is fucking
so depressing and
Hilariously
funny.
depressing, yeah.
Yes. So it's not a bad day.
Yeah.
It's a good way to end the podcast. Not
is.
with a bang or a whimper,
But it's
with
because it's season 4 now.
It's
and
season
we're
fucking 4.
Going out with a,
we're going out with we're ending the
episode
episode,
101.
which might take 2 weeks to post. Then we're ending with the episode with sort of a yeah. That's how we end our episodes now, with a yeah, not a. We're willing to commit not to a fuck yeah, just sort of a
With a,
yeah.
It's all right.
All right. Which brings us to you've been listening to That's Life, a Baby Boy production, episode number
101.
101, the 101 of podcasting. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for listening. You can listen to many of the episodes, Pete,
For free.
at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/That's Life Podcast. to listen to or download any of the Season 1 through Season 4 episodes. Also, Pete,
For free.
check us out at that'slifepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and especially
Subscribe.
for instant notification via email whenever new episodes or content are posted, especially at our YouTube page. We need love at our YouTube page. Don't be a punk. Subscribe, and like and subscribe. We also have a Facebook page. Pete, tell them about the fucking Facebook page.
Well, our Facebook page can be found at facebook.com/that'slifepodcast, and you can get all the good notifications there about when we're recording, what we're recording, and where you can find it. Also gives links to the YouTubes, and go give us a like there as well. And you can leave us any kind of questions, comment on our shit. We love it. Facebook.com/that'slifepodcast. Tell your friends.
And if you'd give us a holler about nerdarchy.com real quick, what can we expect to find there?
Nerdarchy.com. Basically anything nerdy and geeky, gaming, RPGs. That's what we cover. That's what we do.
Check them out. And if you've enjoyed what you just heard,
I enjoyed it.
I certainly did. Be sure to tell a friend, neighbor, or a coworker and help us to spread the laughter as far as we can.
So, from all of us here at That's Life Podcast, this has been Pete.
Dave.
And Carl bidding you an adieu, and a white screen of death adieu.
Oh, great. Bring me down.
That's too bad.
I guess I'll go kill myself.